Hello, Doc. Feeling better, are you?
I'm feeling fine.
Huh. Surprised to see you up and about again so soon after your little lie down.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm perfectly all right. Thank you anyway.
Don't mention it. But you can't blame me for wondering. I mean, a nice hot cup of salt isn't exactly my idea of the perfect nightcap.
Ah, so that's what it's all about, is it? Well, I hate to disillusion you, but I took that salt to remove a stain from my skirt. Nothing more, nothing less.
Martha Gardner rides again, eh?
Come on, Peterson. You're signed to work in the hospital, not chat in the corridors.
Just an educational conversation.
You too, Edwards. Move it.
All right, all right. How come she gets all the cushy jobs anyway and I'm stuck with this antique?
You're not in a position to complain about the work you're assigned. Now get on with it.
Do you know why she gets all those cushy jobs?
Because she's qualified.
I'll tell you quite a
And
few
I told you, move it.
Mary, I was just wondering if you've got any of that good stuff, you know.
You want to give your mind a bit of a buzz, eh?
Yeah.
Well, don't you worry. I've got a little ship coming in soon. There's going to be more than enough for everybody. You got cash?
Yeah, I've been saving up.
Ah, you hear that, girls? Mouse has been saving up her pennies. Why don't you learn something, Bryant? You always seem to be broke when buying time comes round.
I've got better things to do with my money.
Is that a fact? Well, I reckon Mouse deserves a bit of compensation for her effort, so why don't you...
Why don't you shove it?
You better watch it, Bryant, or I might have to get unpleasant.
You are unpleasant. It's amazing, you know, how tough you are when Sandy isn't here.
Well, she ain't, so you better...
I'm not frightened of you, you know that? Your heavies aren't here. What are you going to do, sick mouse onto me?
Oh, it's all right, Mary. Oh, besides, Jude can't go near the dryers. Her pacemaker plays up.
Thanks, Mouse.
Is that a fact? Well, I reckon your time's running out.
What are you going to do, take on all of us?
If I have to.
Oh, I'm sorry, Jude. I didn't mean to start any trouble.
Oh, am I glad to be in here. It's like a refuge from the storm.
Is it getting to you?
Oh, in a way, I suppose. Would you like a coffee?
No, let me. What's the problem?
Oh, haven't you heard? The women have got a Kate Peterson hate campaign on.
Do you think there's going to be trouble?
Yes, I do. But Mrs. Davidson thinks I'm just touchy because Colleen's the deputy.
Well, are you?
No. Oh, I don't know. Perhaps I am. I thought I had my priorities right. Marriage before career. Look what happened to me. Bob didn't even wait to talk about it.
Oh, well, that's men for you. Still, they have their uses.
Changed your tune?
Oh, no, I haven't. Take it in Marnie. He's got a sense of humour. He doesn't take things too seriously. Something we could all learn from.
I think he just leads people on for his own amusement.
No, it's just his manner. It's not intentional.
You're jumping to his defence all of a sudden. It was only a few days ago that you disliked the man.
Well, I just misunderstood him.
No?
I think he's very good company.
Company? Oh, when did this happen?
Meg Morris, you're just a stirrer.
Hayes? Listen, honey, I've been thinking about what you said this afternoon. You know, about not getting the chance to keep your nose clean? You're wrong, you know.
Am I? Well, what are you doing back here, then?
It's just that you got the best reason in the world to stay out of trouble. Your family.
Oh, that's more than some of us have got.
Look, all I'm trying to say is that trouble has a way of creeping up on you.
Right, O'Brien, who gave you a rest?
I did, so butt out.
Well, I'm running things around here, so you better get back to work.
Look, why don't you mind your own business?
It is my business. You get into trouble, we all get into trouble.
If I get into trouble, I'll ride with it, okay?
Hey, look at this.
What's that?
It's a note addressed to Sandy.
That's Bee's writing.
Right, I hand it over.
No, it's addressed to Sandy.
I said hand it over. Listen, Bright, why don't you just butt out? I'm getting mighty sick of you.
Yeah.
Hands off! Oh, hand it over, Ken.
Listen, why don't you mind your own business, girl? That's not your note.
It ain't hers either.
Yeah, well, I'll make sure she gets it, but...
I'm not going to ask you again. You bitch about it this time!
And whose fault was it anyway,
That's enough. She attacked me, slammed the door right into me.
Oh, and I suppose you were just standing there doing bugger all.
I said that's enough.
It wasn't her fault, Mrs. Morris.
We'll sort it out later. What about me busted ribs?
Sister will decide whether they're broken or not. Didn't realise the door was that heavy.
Oh, come off it. Of course it's heavy.
Well, I was just trying to defend myself.
Come on, Mrs. Morris. It wasn't Hazel's fault. She was about to thump her.
I didn't touch her. I didn't lay a finger on her.
Did Winter hit you first?
No, but...
All right. Miss Conway, take Winter to the hospital, and Kent, you'll come with me to the governor.
What are you supposed to do when someone threatens you? Let them bash your brains in?
Did Winter threaten you?
Yes, she did.
Why, Winter? Kent, why?
Well, look, she was coming at me. What was I supposed to do, stand there?
Did anybody else see what happened? Trap?
I don't know, Mrs. Morris.
All right. Back to work.
Couldn't you just overlook this one?
You know the rules, Bright. Now get back to work. Come with me, Kent.
See what I mean, Jude? See what I mean?
Now, what is all this about?
There was some trouble in the laundry. Mary Winter was injured and accused Hazel of striking her.
Is she badly hurt?
She's seeing the sister now.
She was coming at me, Mrs. Davidson. I was standing near the dryer door, so I used it to protect myself, and it hit her. Well, she's always trying to throw her weight around, and you got to defend yourself, don't you?
Did you do anything to provoke her?
No, Mrs. Davidson.
Or she just came at you for no reason?
Well, I just refused to do what she said. She's always picking on us, trying to make fun of us, orders us around for no reason.
Well, I think the only thing to be considered here is who struck the first blow.
But she was coming at me. She had a heavies bit.
The first blow.
Well, I did, but that's
I
just...
see.
Mrs. Davidson, I think this is an example of what I was telling you about.
Oh?
General unrest amongst the women.
It seems more like an isolated incident to me. There's been no mention of the prisoner we talked about. Kent, this is not what I expect of you, especially with so much at stake.
Yes, Mrs. Davidson.
Well, you know what this could mean to your parole.
Yes, I do.
Well, you will spend 24 hours in solitary confinement. Perhaps that will make you realize how to avoid trouble in the future. Is there anything further you wish to say?
No, Mrs. Davidson.
Very well, that will be all.
Well, there's really nothing to worry about. Just a bit of nasty bruising, but certainly nothing broken.
Well, it feels like it's broken.
What do you think, Peterson?
Hello? Yes. All right, fine. Thank you.
No, there's nothing broken.
Good. That was the reception. You've got a visitor, Peterson.
Oh, I can manage here, Miss Conway. Off you go, Peterson.
Did they say who it was?
I think it's your solicitor.
Well, it's about time.
Sister Franklin, could you keep Winter here until I can get an officer to take her back?
Oh, that won't be necessary. I'll keep you here overnight just as a precaution.
I'll tell Mrs. Davidson.
Oh, thanks.
All you need to do is rub some of this on morning and night.
Do I have to go back to work?
Tomorrow, yes.
Oh.
You'll be all right. If you take things carefully, in a day or two you won't even notice it.
I'll notice it, all right. It'll keep reminding me what I'm going to do that Kent bitch when I get my hands on her.
Good morning, Mrs. Peterson.
Mr. Andrews?
I believe we're entitled to a private interview.
Of course.
Right now, I think I've got some good news for you.
I'm very glad to hear it. My last solicitor would have choked if he'd had to say something like that.
Yes, well, I know nothing of that.
So, what is this good news?
Simply that I believe we can have your sentence reduced from murder to manslaughter. It's quite a step, and one that would have been impossible without the evidence of Mr. Ross.
Well, he wasn't easy to find.
Yes, so I gather. But with his testimony, a little legal expertise, and take into account the time you've already served, I think we can have you out of here in 6 months.
That, Mr. Andrews, is a marked improvement on 12 years.
Yes, of course. But I don't want to build you up with mere hopes. Our whole success depends on the testimony of Mr. Ross. Now, it was at his motor lodge that your lover, Conrad, made repeated threats and attacks against you and your son.
Yes, that's correct. Of course, I wasn't aware at the time that anybody overheard. I never thought I'd be grateful for motel rooms having such thin walls.
Yes, of course. This Mr. Ross is an excellent witness. Why wasn't he called to the original trial?
Well, as I said before, Mr. Andrews, he wasn't easy to find, and well, my original lawyer left a lot to be desired.
Oh, I see.
But with you in charge, I'm sure I can look forward to getting out of here very soon.
Well, I'll certainly do my best.
Have you spoken to Mr. Ross?
Oh, indeed I have, and he's been very cooperative. I was surprised at his knowledge of legal procedures.
Luck seems to be on my side.
And we in the profession prefer to call it justice.
And correctly so.
Anyway, there I was telling Hazel how wrong she was when Mari ups and thumps her one and Hazel ends up in the pound. I feel as though I really let her down, you know?
It's not your fault.
Thanks, though, but it doesn't help me to feel any better.
Well, what happened to the note?
Well, Hazel still has it, I guess.
Mari got a belt in the ribs to